This dude, Jimmy Butler, is unreal. I mean, he just went out and it felt like single handedly took down an entire NBA team by himself. If you weren't watching game four of the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs, I mean, you missed out because this was a masterclass. This is going to be one of those games you look back on and say, wow, this was one of the best I'm him performances of all time. Let me just read you the headline here. Jimmy Butler, career high and Heat playoff record, 56 points. The Heat beat the number one seeded Bucks, by the way, in Game 4, 119 to 114. They go up 3-1 in this series. Now it is headed back to Milwaukee. Giannis is back, but Jimmy Butler, come on, 56 points on 19 of 28 field goals. He scored 56 points and only took 28 shots. That is insanity right there. Also had 9 boards. 15 of 18 from the free throw line. I mean, they were trailing by 12 with 6 minutes left. I cut it off, and then I look back, and with 4 minutes left, it's a 3-point game. Cut it back on. Jimmy Butler, this dude is he's special. MJ's son really thought he could just come into the playoffs and be that guy without us knowing. Like we wouldn't realize. So yeah, before we really get started with today's video, make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below, as well as sticking around till the end of the video. That will help us out a lot as well. But I'm going to try something new here today. Getting a little busy with school, sports, but, I mean, I had to post something about this legendary performance, right? So we're just going to talk over some clips tonight and give you a few stats. Heat dealing with some injuries. We're going to get into that, but right now, I mean, Jimmy Butler. What can you say about this type of performance? He seems like every year, it just seems like he's coasting through the regular season. We're at that point in the Jimmy Butler cycle, it seems like, where he's a top 5 to 10 player in the NBA because in the playoffs he just turns it on another level. One of the grittiest players in the NBA. It's not like he's 6'10" with insane athleticism. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's in the NBA. He's got elite athleticism for a normal person, but for an NBA player, he's not the most athletic guy in the world. He's getting up there. He can't really shoot the 3 ball. He's just a gritty performer, especially in the playoffs. Got the mid-range game, elite at finishing around the rim, and he just continues to torch the Bucks. I mean, I know they've been injured, but hey, the Heat have been injured too. We're at that point in the Jimmy Butler cycle. I mean, it's crazy. Again, they'll lose in like the Eastern Conference Finals or something, and we'll say, all right, maybe he was a little overrated. Then we'll start the season again. He'll coast. He'll average like 15 a game. And we'll say, hey, how in the world do we think Jimmy Butler was a top 5 player in the league? And then all of a sudden, we see some more of this insanity in the NBA playoffs and quickly realize, oh yeah, Jimmy Butler, he's that guy. So we will talk about the rest of this series real quick. Milwaukee didn't really get much production from their bench tonight. And Miami's bench is very, very weak. It's very thin as well right now. So it's really, when it comes down to the playoffs, when we get into these type of series, especially if we get into Game 6 or Game 7, it's those top 5. The bench doesn't really play a factor. So it's going to be Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, and company battling it out against Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, all those guys. I think, unfortunately for the Heat, they are just not quite deep enough. However, if Jimmy and them, if they can go up to Milwaukee and close it out in 5, and man, that'd be a gutsy win on the road in the playoffs. If they can go close it out in 5, which will be extremely tough to do, I think that's their best chance. Because the longer you give the Bucks to play with Giannis, the longer you give, the legs and everything to get even more tired because you're playing without 2 rotation guys right now. Jimmy, he's basically having to play the entire game because 2 shooting guards are out. I mean, before long, we're going to see 85-year-old Udonis Haslem in the game for the Miami Heat. That's how rough it's getting right now. This was already a relatively thin team. I mean, they have to bring in a ancient Kevin Love at the deadline who I'll give him credit, has really helped them out a lot on the glass. And with mismatch problems this series, you have to bring in an ancient Kevin Love to help, just give you another guy to bring off that bench. Going forward, though, I would like to see Caleb Martin. I expect him to get some more minutes. He's a type of guy that will play. I mean, he brings what you need in an NBA playoff game. And then Duncan Robinson, a guy that they're paying a whole lot of money. He doesn't really play too much in the regular season, but hey, they need him now. They don't have a choice not to. But I think one thing that the Heat have going for them, which is, it seems like we see the Bucks and the Heat in like every single playoff series for the last few years. And I mean, they've been the two of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. But one of the things that the Heat have that not many other teams in the league have is Bam Adebayo and his ability to not stop Giannis, because there's no stopping Giannis. He's 6'11". He's almost a superhuman. But to somewhat contain him is... There's not many other people in the NBA that can do that. And so having Bam Adebayo, that's a huge step up. I mean, Drew Holiday didn't have his best game tonight. Giannis actually had a triple-double. Brook Lopez had like 35. But Bam is being used to guard Giannis, so other people are being forced to guard Brook Lopez, and the help is not there, so the lob option is there. But overall, I think Bam Adebayo, him being able to deal with Giannis is huge for the Heat. And I mean, obviously that's been consensus around the NBA, but that's huge for the Heat right there. So the last thing we will address here today, or one of the last things we will address, is the injury situation for the Heat. Tyler Hero lost for the year in Game 1 with a broken finger? And even after he broke his finger, the rock got swung back to him, and he still said, you know what, I'm going to shoot this. Even though I got a broken hand, it's still going up, and he missed it. It looked like it went in from the camera angle, honestly, but he's out for the season. And then Victor Oladipo, a guy that has just struggled with injuries forever, he was lost for the season in a win against the Bucks in Game 4, which is just very unfortunate. But being without two rotation guys, like I said, an already weaker team, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, they're all going to have to step up. Those guys off the bench, they're going to have to step up. Jimmy's going to play like 45 minutes. I feel very confident in that. Coach Spo is not going to take that man out, especially if he's dropping 56. I feel like at some point, I'm feeling it's going to be in Game 6. That's when I'm going to make my prediction. Back in Miami, we're going to see one more Jimmy Butler, I'm him performance, where he's probably going to go out and break the Heat scoring record again. Maybe he does it in Game 5. Maybe he smells the blood in the water and he does it in Game 5. But, a franchise with so many great players, obviously D-Wade, LeBron James being two of the most recent great Miami Heat guys, to have that franchise scoring record in the playoffs, that's pretty impressive for Jimmy. Man, 56 points. Y'all let me know your thoughts, reactions to this, because this is honestly my raw reaction to this whole thing. So let me know down in the comments below what you think. If y'all like this kind of video, make sure to the like button. Make sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know. But with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. That really helps us out a lot. And yeah, with all that being said, hit the like button, leave me a comment. And thank you so much for watching today's video.